Have you ever wondered how fragile our reality truly is? We build cities, launch rockets, and live our lives fully convinced that tomorrow is a certainty. We see ourselves as the masters of this world, but in the eyes of the ancients, we are merely temporary guests in a vast, unpredictable universe. A universe governed by forces that existed long before us and will remain long after we are gone. Ancient legends aren't just myths. They are echoes of a time when humanity understood its place among the stars. They speak of entities so vast that our entire history is but a flicker to them. Today, we aren't looking at the friendly myths of pop culture. We are exploring the deepest reaches of human lore to find the powers that could bring a final curtain call to our civilization. I'm your host, and these are the Ancient Files. Here are 5 entities that could end humanity. In the heart of the Hindu tradition stands Shiva. He is not a villain in the way Western stories often portray. He is the personification of time and entropy. He is the great transformer. When the first atomic test took place, the world was reminded of this primal power. Shiva is the one who balances the scales of existence. He is often seen performing the Tandava, a celestial dance that keeps the rhythm of the cosmos. As long as the rhythm holds, life continues. But Shiva possesses a third eye, a gateway of pure energy that opens only when the cycle of an age has reached its natural conclusion. For Shiva, the conclusion of our era isn't an act of anger, it's a necessary reset. Think of it as a cosmic reboot. When the Tandava reaches its peak, physical matter begins to lose its cohesion. Stars fade, and the fundamental forces of nature simply retract. It would be a silent, instantaneous transition, where the universe folds back into a single point of light to begin a new journey. We wouldn't even realize the lights were being turned off. Now let's look at ancient Egypt. While many know the protective gods, few speak of the terror of Sekhmet. She is the Lady of Flame, born from the scorching gaze of the sun itself. In the legends, Sekhmet was the ultimate deterrent, a force sent to restore order when humanity strayed too far. But once unleashed, her power became a wildfire. She didn't just conquer, she began to erase the very fabric of society. Ancient texts describe her breath as the searing wind that turns fertile lands into dust, and her presence as a great blight that could vanish entire cities. The terrifying part of Sekhmet's story is how close she came to total victory. The legends say the crimson essence of her path was so vast, it threatened to consume everything. The other powers had to trick her into a deep slumber just to give humanity a second chance. If that solar fire were to reignite today, we wouldn't face a storm, we'd face a global thermal event. The oceans would turn to steam and the world would be returned to the silence of the desert. The Aztecs believed we are living in the 5th sun, a world that has already seen 4 previous versions vanish. The figure behind these shifts is often Tezcatlipoca, the smoking mirror. He carries a mirror made of dark volcanic glass that reveals not your face, but the hidden truths of your soul. He is the master of fate and the patron of the night. Unlike other powers, Tezcatlipoca doesn't use brute force. He uses the shadows within us. His method is the Great Discord. He doesn't need to strike from above, he simply whispers. He encourages the collapse of trust and the rise of internal strife. According to the lore, when he decides an era has ended, he simply withdraws the light. The 5th sun would go dark, and the world would fall into a state of ultimate shadow, where the remnants of our world are reclaimed by the wild. It's an end brought about by our own hands, guided by a master of illusions. In the ancient Persian faith of Zoroastrianism, the universe is a battleground between light and the anti-creation, known as Engra Mainyu. He is the original architect of entropy. He didn't create the world, he infiltrated it. For every beautiful thing created by the light, Engra Mainyu created a flaw. He is the origin of decay, the source of the great pestilence, and the father of all things that wither. He is essentially a cosmic virus within the code of reality. His victory wouldn't be a sudden explosion. It would be a slow, agonizing fade. It is the great stagnation. Imagine a world where nothing grows, where innovation stops, and where the very concept of hope is erased from our DNA. It is a biological and spiritual decline that leads to a universe of absolute cold and silence. If the spirit of decay wins, humanity doesn't vanish. It simply loses the spark that makes it human, drifting forever in a hollow shell of a world. Finally, we reach the most haunting concept of all, Azathoth, the sleeping essence at the heart of the void. While popularized by modern cosmic horror, the idea taps into an ancient fear that we are not the protagonists of our own story. Azathoth is described as a boundless, surging force at the center of infinity, kept in a state of eternal sleep by the constant, maddening music of lesser entities. He is the ultimate dreamer. The existential dread here is that our entire universe, every star, every mountain, every memory, is nothing but a fragment of Azathoth's dream. We don't have to worry about his judgment or his anger. We only have to worry about the music stopping. If the dreamer wakes up, the hallucination that we call reality simply ceases to exist. There is no fire, no noise, and no aftermath, just an immediate transition into non-existence. We are the thoughts of a sleeping giant, and when he opens his eyes, the dream is over. The ancients may not have had telescopes or supercomputers, but they understood something fundamental. We are part of a much larger, much more mysterious tapestry. Whether it's the entropy of Shiva or the dream of Azathoth, these legends remind us to cherish the now. Which of these cosmic ends sounds the most plausible to you? Or do you think we are the masters of our own destiny? Share your theories in the comments below.